Hello everybody, it's Sterling, and today we are going to be discussing how I reached my first milestone in building a floor cleaning robot. My first major goal in building this robot would be to create the actual base of the robot, because before I could even think about how am I going to make the robot clean the floor, I have to actually build the robot. So I'm going to walk you through how I was able to do that. I'm going to be referring to the base of the robot as the car, as it kind of looks similar to a car, so I hope you enjoy. The first thing I did was wire the base of my car. The way I was able to do this is by utilizing the two hooks that are attached to each of the motors within my car. Now, I have 4 motors, as there's one required to power each wheel. So what I did was I took one red wire and one black wire, and I wrapped each of the wires around one of the hooks in each of the motors. The process of doing that was taking my motor, wrapping the wire around each of the hooks, then I had to secure the motor in place, and the way I was able to do this is by utilizing screws and hex nuts to bolster the motors in place. Now, this was honestly kind of a painful process for me because my wires kept falling out of the holes. And so, to combat this, all I really was left to do is just trial and error. I had to keep pushing through. When one wire popped out, I had to go fix it. And with enough persistence, all of my wires were able to stick in their correct places, which was a great feeling once I was finished. My next step was to fasten the roof of the car. So the way I did this was by utilizing several different mini support beams, and by screwing the beams top and bottom to the base of the car and the roof of the car, I was able to successfully attach the roof to the bottom. Now, once I had my roof in place, it was time to start continuing the process of building my car. So what I did is I slid the wires from the bottom of the car through different holes that were built into the roof so that they could poke out in the top, where I was able to tie the 2 red wires together on each side and the 2 black wires together on each side. So in other words, by the time I had finished connecting wires, there were 2 pairs of 2 red wires and 2 pairs of 2 black wires. After I was able to tie those wires together, I hot glued my battery pack onto the roof of the car, as well as my motor driver. Then for my last bit of wiring, what I had to do was insert a pair of red wires into the out 1 and out 4 connections of my motor driver respectively. And then I had to take my black wires and do the same, this time with the connections out 2 and out 3. Once I did that, I grabbed my ESP32, which is the microcontroller I opted to use for this project, and I connected 6 multicolored wires into the ESP32, and I connected those wires into the motor driver so that way we could form clear connections. What was left for me to do now was to test to make sure I built the car successfully and the wires were in place. So what I did was I downloaded Arduino, I ran some sample code that I found just to make sure the car was able to move, and here is what that looked like. As you can see, the car successfully rotates to the left and to the right, which is great news. Had I wired my car incorrectly, well then it just wouldn't move at all. So it's great news that it was able to rotate by itself. That's all I have for my first milestone. I was able to successfully build my base of the robot, and I'm excited to reach my second milestone, hopefully very soon. Thank you very much for watching.